everybody, and welcome to another episode of Lightworkers Connect. I am so excited for this episode today because we're going to have some fun. How many of you guys out there are spiritual entrepreneurs? I know that since that's what I am, you tend to draw your own crowd to you, right? So there may be a lot of you out there who actually are already spiritual entrepreneurs, or you might be one and you just don't really know it yet. You might still be what we would call stuck in your 9-to-5 job, and you might want to be transitioning out of that. Or you might just be a person who is so open that you don't really categorize yourself as this or that or the other. But wherever you fit into the career kind of topic, I want you to know that if you are here today, there is no coincidence that you have a message that you are here to share with the planet. Whether you decide to make money doing it or whether you decide to do it as your hobby, you have a gifting and you're here for a reason, not only on the planet, but right here for this show at the right time. Because my guest today, Mrs. Diahana Barnes, is going to share with us some information about how we can get really more specific, understand more dynamically what our giftings are. And since Diahana is a business and marketing coach, she's going to share with us how we take that knowledge and information and use it to start creating a marketing plan so that we can reach the right audience for us. And I'm really excited to share her message and her services with you today. With no further ado, may I introduce to you guys Diahana Barnes. Diahana, welcome.
Hi.
Yay, let's get some likes and hearts and loves going across the screen for you.
Yay.
So Diahana, tell us a little bit more about what your business actually encompasses. And then we want to know too, how did you come to do this?
Sure, absolutely. So thank you so much for having me. I want to start with that. I feel so blessed. And I'm so excited to be here. And it's funny how you were talking about you draw specific people to you, and we connected for that exact reason. So you're absolutely right. We're in this right moment at this exact perfect time. And I just want to honor that. So I'm Diahana. So I worked in the corporate world for years and years and years. I ran multi-million-dollar sales teams and email marketing campaigns and all that. And I was always spiritual on the inside and in my private space, but not in the corporate world to the world. And I'm learning that we got to own it because that's when magical things have happened. And that's a little bit about what we'll cover today with our spiritual attributes and who we are. So I left that corporate world. It's been almost a year and a half ago. I ran my own coaching business since 2006, but I ventured out on my own and really came into what I call a spiritual business coach, because what I found in my own experience, I did this myself. I tried to do all the sales or all the marketing strategies, the next, bright, shiny object. And maybe I got a couple clients, but then things started falling flat because I wasn't honoring who I spiritually was, like what is naturally the right fit for me and my business and what clients I want. And so that's when I came up with this 7-step process, some of which we'll go through today, to really uncover more of who we are. And then the practical side, so marrying the spiritual with the practical, how do you use that in your business so you're not wasting your time trying to do something that isn't a right, soulful fit for you? So
that's really exciting. I read an article not long ago that was shared. Somebody shared it within the group about the different kinds of light workers that there are. And until that point, I hadn't really broken down or characterized, there's this type, and then there's this type, and there's this type. Let's see if I can remember some of them for you. There were gatekeepers, who are like different beings that hold knowledge, that we share at certain times, that help bring us up to the next level. There are the healers. There are the collaborators. Like there are all of these different kinds of light workers. And what you talk about finding those spiritual attributes reminds me a lot of that article. And just bringing my awareness to the understanding of the differences. Because, this is a relatively new topic. We're, as a collective, as a society, like you said, we're all starting to kind of come out of the closet. So it's a time of real uncovering and understanding the differences between all of these different gifts and skills and abilities. It's similar to saying, like, we can heal with Reiki, or we can heal with the Akashic Records, or we can heal with tarot card readings. So what are Hey, can you tell us yet, or should we get started with the quiz first about what the different spiritual attributes are?
I'll tell you a little bit about it, and then I thought it'd be fun if we all did the quiz together, because I get that question. Okay. People are like, what the heck is a spiritual attribute? And how I like to think of it and what makes it easy is it's a characteristic. So it's a characteristic of whatever word you use, God, spirit, the universe, doesn't matter, right? I think it doesn't matter. There's 7 of them. So I'll go through each 7. And we have the kind of like Lightworkers, right? We probably can reflect or kind of tap into each one, but usually 1 or 2, when I read the description, really resonate with you. And it's kind of like, I think of it kind of like a personality test. It's like your spiritual personality, right?
Cool.
What comes naturally to you? And so that, and then I can kind of decipher when you know what naturally comes to you, then we'll align it to what sales or marketing strategy might work. So why don't we take out a piece of paper, everybody, and a pencil or a pen? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll read. There's 7. So it's principle, mind, soul, spirit, life, truth, love. I'll read each 7 in just a quick little, because I know we don't have tons of time, a little description. And when one jumps out at you, just, I don't know, write it down or circle it or whatever.
Okay.
And if there's 2, that's totally okay. It's usually 1 or 2 that really jump out.
Okay.
So principle. So divine principle, when you connect with divine principle, you have a love of the rules. So you like structure. You may be very neat and very tidy. Your underwear drawer is probably color-coded, or everything's all wrapped up really nicely. Those are not me, but that's a lot of people.
That's why I laugh so hard, because my mama, who's here on this one, will know I haven't been a very good rule follower my whole life, that's what it made me giggle. Okay, so I know for sure this one is not me. This one's not going to confuse me at all.
Okay, so we know it's not that one, but it might be for some of the people watching.
It might be for some people out here. We need both kinds in the world, to uphold structure and then to venture outside of that. So yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. I think I know which one you are, but I'll be curious to see. Okay, so mind. So divine mind, you're thoughtful, you're introspective, you're interested in learning. You probably receive inspiration very easily. So you're open to new things, new ideas. You may get downloads a lot. Now, remember, you can reflect all 7. So there may be moments in time when you feel that, but if you're that all the time, then you probably really resonate with divine mind. Hi, Lillian. I see you popping up saying hi. Soul. So divine soul. So when you reflect divine soul, you're very centered. Still, I actually think of people who teach yoga are very soulful. That's kind of who they are. They're calm in all situations, right? Their feathers don't get ruffled. They're just that Zen person all the time. Spirit. So when you reflect divine spirit, you express joy. You have fun, unlimited energy, kind of hyper. That would be me. So I love spirit. I reflect spirit a lot. And enthusiasm. The next one is divine life. So people who connect or relate to divine life, they are very nurturing, caring. You may like to garden or be outside in nature or mother everybody, whether it's your own kids or someone else. That's kind of the divine life. Think of Mother Earth or life. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then divine truth. So kind of like principle, divine truth, you express goodness, purpose, passion. You have a really resonant feeling with what's morally right. Just very, very truthful, no lying, no anything. Just you want to always honor that morality. And then the last one is divine love. And when you reflect divine love, and I suspect quite a few of us will like this one, you're very heart-centered. So peaceful, loving, giving. You love and see the good in everyone and in everything. So kind of the glass is half full, positive all the time. That's another one that I really personally resonate with as well. So.
Awesome. I love it. You guys feel comfortable sharing your answers? If you want to feel comfortable sharing your answers, yeah, go ahead and type those in. Let's hear them.
I lost you for a minute. What did you say?
Yeah, I said I was inviting everyone out there to, if you feel comfortable sharing your answers, go ahead and type in the one or two that really jumped out at you. I have two that jumped out at me. Okay, so I have one really strong one, and then I have another like secondary, and then I have two others that have come about later in my life, but they haven't necessarily reflected me in the entirety of my incarnation this go around. Lillian says divine light and spirit are her. Oh, this is fun reading what you guys have. Gina is truth and love. This is fun. Isn't this fun? Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna put the rest of them up there when they come in. Okay, so I can tell you the mind and life for my boy B. Truth and love were my secondary ones. Those are, I should say, that come about later on in my life. It haven't always been the most important thing to me. Like, I could have been a liar, pants on fire up until, probably my adult years. And I didn't really have any. I wrote an article once about me stealing Twizzlers from the grocery store. And I seriously barely even felt bad about it, other than the fact that I got in trouble for it. So I didn't really, I'm not outing myself as a bad spiritual mentor, but I'm just being honest. I didn't really have a strong moral code in terms of, oh, that's the wrong thing to do, Emily, you shouldn't be doing that. It was more about if it fed what I needed fed, which was my sweet tooth must have been that day when I stole the Twizzlers. And love in that compassionate nature is another one that's coming online for me. I think that I've had a lot of heart walls up, and I've had to really learn how to break that down, and really had to learn how to love myself. And that's allowed me to open up and love other people more deeply. But I recognize that even in my marriage with my husband, how in the past 5 years of my life where I've really dove into this kind of work, has our relationship gotten better. And of course, our partners, as is everybody on the planet, are just reflecting our own selves back to us. But I've been able to release a lot of judgment, specifically with him, because the person that you're with, it's so easy to get very critical of all of the little things that they do that bother you. And I've been able to learn a lot about compassion, which is actually how I'm feeling about myself on a deeper level. So I can say that those are things that have come about later on in my life, but the ones that have been true to me since the day I was born into this planet, mind for sure, 100% mind, and life as well. Life is something I would say that came on probably later in my life, a little bit later in my life as well, because I didn't always love being out in nature, and I love gardening, but it is a daily part of my life now, and has been probably for about the past 15 years or so, I'd say. So those are my two big ones, mind number one and life secondary for me.
I love it. Well, and I love actually what you talked about. So you can tap into all seven, and you're right. They can evolve as you evolve. I've always been spirit because of my high energy that hasn't changed, but depending on what I'm doing, and particularly with my business and my marriage, you can tap into others. So I love that you brought that up. Like my husband, in my opinion, I haven't had him take the test and share with me, although I probably should. He's very much mind, which I'm not, but he's super intelligent. And so sometimes it's good to know how that other person resonates, because their personality is different than your personality. And if someone's really calm and I'm super hyper, then we just know and love that about each other. So that's amazing. And so as it relates to your business, the different attributes, different marketing strategies or sales strategies will come more naturally to you. So for example, you talked about mind and you talked about life. Well, I'm curious, Emily, do you like to write?
Since I was a little girl, I've been creating books, and definitely love to write. One of my favorite goals that I've accomplished is becoming a contributing writer for the Huffington Post. And I really love to write and create stories. I'm working on my first book. Yes. So 100% writer all the way.
That's exactly perfect, because I was going to say those who really resonate with mind their marketing strategy may be to be an author, to write a blog or a newsletter or ebooks. And that might be one of your most successful strategies for getting yourself out there, because you're going to naturally be good at it. So yeah. And then for those who resonated with spirit, which is kind of like me, what I've learned about me, I like to write. I don't love it. It's actually challenging for me. But as a spiritual reflection, I love to talk to people in person. So when I go working an event or speaking on a stage, or even like this, a Facebook Live, I don't get nervous. The words come naturally. It's just something I just connect with people really well, face to face and in person. And so for people who love that marketing or sales strategy, and that's where you see lots of success. So
Lillian says she does a vlog, which is a marriage between videos and blogs. I remember the first vlog I did was all about the word kind of vlog, and how funny that word is. I love video bloggers or vloggers. So Lillian's wondering which category does that fit into?
I would want to know which word resonated with her in the quiz. Off the top of my head, and just kind of tuning in, it feels like spirit, because it's very much face-to-face. It's not writing. So is she high energy? Does she love getting herself out there? It could be spirit, could be a little bit of life as well. Yeah, that would be my take on that one.
Beautiful. Jasmine says, amazing. Just the message that she needed to hear today. Well, we're glad that we could telepathically show up and serve exactly what you guys needed. So let me go back through and let's see a couple of others who have come in here. So you said that love would likely resonate for a lot of us. And I do see, here's my friend Tina Naki. Aloha, Tina. Love coming up here for quite a few people. So if love was one of ours, what would be some good strategies that we could use?
So the reason I said that a lot of us probably reflect divine love is because that's the heart-centered entrepreneur. That's the one who she or he does her business from the heart-centered place. And so whatever strategy you do, you want to do it what feels naturally to you in a good way. So divine love is meeting people one-on-one. Like, so instead of communicating over email, you probably want to sit one-on-one and have virtual or in-person coffee, right? Divine love people connect very well, heart-centered, one-to-one. Speaking would be great for people who reflect divine love as well. Standing up on a stage, small or big or small, right?
Cool.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of said that, because it seems like those of us attracting each other are that heart-centered person. So.
I love that you said have virtual coffee with people. That is just awesome, and so characteristic of where we're at today, where we can communicate with with just our devices right here. We can be in the same room with each other, which is really beautiful. Tina says aloha. I wanted to show you this that Lillian said, because you nailed it. Sister, you nailed it. She said, yes, it was spirit and life. So her vlogging were exactly those two that you mentioned. See, guys, Diahana knows her stuff. She knows her stuff. For those of us who are still trying to figure out exactly what our business, like our product or what it is that we share looks like, do you have any tips on how we can take this understanding of our spiritual attributes and figure out maybe what that is? Because I know that many of us we feel the calling, that need to shift what it is we're doing before we really realize what it is that we're here to do. There are a lot of people who feel like they want to make these career shifts, but they just don't know what else that they're going to do in their life. So how can we take this knowledge and transition to the next step in terms of creating our business if we don't know what that business is yet?
Do you have an example? Like, is there somebody that you recognize that you could give me a little background or
let's find out. Is there anybody out there, guys, any of you guys out there who feel that desire that you want to shift and move into a different career path? Maybe you want to start your own spiritual business, but you don't really know what that is yet. Anybody out there who would like to open up and share that they're experiencing that today? and maybe we can help you out and dissect a little bit more. Cheers to the coffee, and help point you in the right direction.
Coffee. Yeah. Because what I would do with clients or anybody on this call, if you know what your spiritual attribute is, and so I'll just jump in with an example. If, divine spirit or even divine life resonated with you, and you don't know what you want to do, I'll use divine life as an example. But you feel a calling. So maybe you feel a calling. You want to leave your corporate world. You love divine life. You love nature. You love kind of Mother Earth, right? Are you all? My question would be: are you super healthy? Because my gut feeling or my intuition of divine mind is telling me you probably are super healthy. You probably love green, clean eating. Maybe you walk, maybe you run, whatever. You might be a perfect health coach, right? Because you love life, you love gardening, you love, so that might be a natural fit for you. And if you have a healthy lifestyle, sharing that healthy lifestyle with other people may come perfectly to you, if that makes sense. Like for me, I was in the sales and marketing world, but whenever I ran a team, I always do my spiritual foundation. Like if there was a conflict at work, I would tap into divine love and divine spirit to resolve that. And I didn't even really realize I was doing it. It took someone else to tell me, Diana, you've been doing this your whole life. You just didn't realize it. Turn it into a business. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're totally right. I can be a spiritual business coach. I got the business side down, but now I can open up and share the spiritual side.
You're so in the flow right now. I just got to tell you, you said the exact two attributes that I just popped up on the screen for Tina, because Tina had said, yes, she's actually, her 9 to 5 is ended. She's transitioning now. Divine spirit and love are her attributes that she resonated with. So that would be an example of an area where you might want to consider, if you don't already know what area you're moving forward in, you just know that you're moving forward in that area. That might be something to consider, is doing some kind of a spiritual coaching, because chances are you've been naturally doing it anyway. Let's see. I wanted to see. Lillian said here, she said, she knows what she wants to do. She loves helping women from Africa become financially free. That's beautiful. Perfect. Very beautiful. And Christine said that she's transitioning too into being her own boss and having a spiritual healing career. Apothecary is my love, and intuitive healer. That's pretty awesome too. I love that. Christine's also a yoga freak. I sure love that out there.
Intuitive healer, that's mind. But the yoga could be soul. So it sounds like she's really good at tapping into more than one. So she's very in tune. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Wonderful. Dana, thank you so much for showing up and sharing a little bit more about you and what you do with us. Will you tell everybody now where they can connect with you? And then also, would you go back and stick it in the comments later for those people who are watching the replay just to click? But share with us now where we can get a hold of you and connect with you.
You can, of course, friend me on Facebook and send me a private message. But easy, if you need to, just go to my website. That's the easiest way to reach me. It's dianabarnes.com. I have a free workbook. If you want more information about your spiritual attributes and tapping into who you are, just go dianabarnes.com/workbook. It's as easy as it gets. And and I'd love to answer any other questions. So I'm open, and I love everybody. So I'll share that love.
She loves you all. She'll share it. If you guys have any other questions, if you type them in really quickly here, we might be able to get to them before we wrap up. But we are wrapping up for our time today. So feel free to go ahead and type those in anyway, and we can always go back and review those comments. And of course, reach out to Diana via private message, because there are so many people here to help during this time of transition. So as a collective, as we are moving from the 3D up into 5D, there are so many souls across the planet who are awakening and feeling this shift about wanting to let go of the old and create something new that is of service to themselves and to humanity. And there are people stationed divinely by the universe here to help you make your way into that newfound freedom and service and healing to the planet. So reach out. You have to take the first steps. You reach out to Diahana, reach out to myself. Like I said, there are many people here specifically for that purpose of helping you to illuminate what you're good at and helping you to create the right environment for you to be successful and to share your gifts and skills and abilities with the world. So we support you all in spirit in doing that. We can support you. Also, if you reach out and connect us, we can absolutely support you in doing that. Tina says, yes, it's moving. She has. Mahalo. She is ready. Linda England is also very highly sensitive and creative. Yes, so many of us right here during this time are extremely sensitive. And that's another area where we want to make sure to take extra special care of ourselves, because that sensitivity to energy is a gift. And the energies are very powerful at this time. So be sure that you take care of yourself, reach out, connect, get the support that you need. Join with the spirit family, the spirit tribe. If you're looking for your tribe and you're looking for a space to grow and expand, the Akashic Academy is an amazing place to do that. So reach out to learn more about that. Diahana, thank you so much for sharing with us again today. This has been really fun. I had a good time.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Namaste, everybody, and we will see you here again next week. Be sure to catch Jack Coleman at 2 p.m. Pacific coming up right after this for Life Hackers. We'll see you then. Bye.
Yay!